Happy Monday. Welcome to Mindfulness Monday. Hello, it's T. So I hope you had a good weekend. Hope it was really cool. And today is our first Mindfulness Monday session. Last week I introduced it to you. Now I'm going to be going through it each week. So on a Monday, what we're going to do, we're going to do some kinds of exercises and bits. So I want to introduce the first one. I said to you this week, and I said last week, sorry, and I'm going to say it to you again. Whose mind is it? You know, when you have that voice that starts talking to you in your head, whose voice is that? You know, whose voice is it? It's your voice. And some people say, oh, you know, trying to switch that off, and it's not going anywhere, right? So we have to learn to live with this voice and what we're going to do. But that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. So what do I want to share with you today? Little tip for you, right? Little exercise that you may want to do that's really quite interesting. So, one of the things that is useful in terms of mindfulness and what mindfulness is about is awareness. Okay, awareness of particularly the belief systems that you have in your mind, in your way of being. So, our beliefs are built up over quite a period of time and are very influenced by all sorts of things that are going on, influenced by the way we've been brought up, influenced by our environment, by people, by situations that we've gone through, yeah? Of course. So we do get highly influenced by these, and sometimes subtly influenced where we don't even know. It's kind of insidious. It sits within us. These belief systems, okay? So how can we look at those and how can we be more mindful about them and how they are driving us? Because it's really interesting that we will hold some beliefs that will drive our behaviour. So a really useful exercise is to look at our belief systems and look at our old belief systems. And if we know we want to make a change, is to start replacing those with a new way of being, a new way of believing. I think I shared with you my story. My story was that, you know, I was physically fit and active, but emotionally I was broken. I was absolutely broken. I was destroyed inside. And that had been going on for a period of years. And although I was very active in terms of helping everybody else, it's a bit like hairdressers who have shit hair, you know. They're very good at doing other people's hair, but they've got really terrible hair themselves. I don't know if you've ever come across that, or someone who does your nails who's got really terrible nails. And so I was one of these people who was very, very good at helping everybody else. But actually, I was carrying some beliefs in myself that were really unhealthy. And whilst I was a very positive and dynamic and sort of happy person and grateful for life and all of that stuff and very motivated and a real driver, I had a set of belief systems that were driving me and that were really causing my cells to be completely diminished. You may want to look at a photographer called Emoto who took some very, very interesting photographs of water, and before the water was spoken to in a certain way, and then afterwards, and the impact of the words and the energy given to that water on the molecular structure of the water. It was fascinating, and if you have a look at it, in fact maybe I'll share them with you this week, see if I can get hold of the images and I'll put them up there, but you can have a look. And they took water and they took a photograph of the water, and they took, let's say, identical bottles of water or identical pieces of water, and one of the elements of water, they would talk to it and say terrible things like, I hate you, you're ugly, you're awful, what a horrible bit of water you are, blah, 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 blah. And then the other water, they would bless it. They would have people pray over it. They would chant over it. They would tell you, I love you, you're wonderful water, you're amazing. And then they would take photographs. He took photographs in Moto of these two elements of water, of the molecular structure. And the water that had been spoken to in kind of this hateful, horrible, negative way had this molecular structure that really was quite grotesque, you know, kind of really ugly and disfigured. And then when they looked at the water that had been kind of blessed or talked to really, really well, it came out like like symmetrical, like beautiful snowflakes, absolutely symmetrical, beautiful, beautiful snowflakes. It really had changed in its structure. Now, if we are predominantly water based, right, 70% at least, minimum 70% of our body is water, then think about what our thoughts are doing to us at a cellular level, right? It's not random. Whatever we think about has an impact on us on a cellular level. Why do we think placebos work, right? Placebos work because someone gives you a pill, it's a sugar pill, it's not got any medicinal qualities in it at all, but you're given a sugar pill and you're told that if you take that pill, it will cure you. And in placebo trials, so many people will get better, a certain percentage of people will get better just by taking a sugar pill, just because they believe it will help them. Fascinating. So please, let's not underestimate the importance of the mind and what it does in terms of your body at a cellular level. So you can be fit as you like and be doing all these kind of physical things, but if mentally you are saying certain things to yourself or your body, your cells are going to respond. They're going to react at that level. Okay? So, really useful exercise is to take a couple of index cards, blank ones, as big as you like. These are kind of a bit small, actually. You can probably do the bit bigger. But a couple of index cards, lined or blank, or you can take a piece of A4 paper and then just cut it in half. So you've got two bigger cards. And I want you to write on it. You might want to try this if it works for you. Different things will work for different people, but I'm going to share a tip with you every week. And I want you to write on the card, old way of being. My old way of being. I've got false old way of being on here. And I want you to think, just sit calmly and quietly, calm yourself a little bit, have some space, be away from people. And I want you to think about some of the beliefs that you have, or you have had, or you've held on to for quite some time. I'll share some of mine with you, actually. I'm quite happy to be open and vulnerable with you. That's the whole point of this here, actually. Otherwise, there was no point me doing it. Okay, so I had things like hard on myself, self-critical, worrying, living in fear, worried about what others think, playing small, doubting, hesitating, paranoid about weight, resentful, feeling that life is unfair, feeling insecure, money worries, overspending, sick, in debt, sleepless nights, alone, and hiding. These were some of my false old ways of being. These are some of my old ways of believing, my old belief system. Okay, so it was interesting when I read it out, and I decided to be really, really honest and just put it all down. But I could have gone on and on and on. I could have probably filled an A4 page. I'm sure we're really good at filling an A4 page with things that we feel critical and are wrong with us. Yeah, that's one. Then you take your other piece, your other card, and you write my new way of being. Okay, so that I'll share with you my new way of being. I'm quite happy to do that. So my new way of being, I did this quite some time ago now, so this has been my way of being for a little while. I'm protected by guardian angels. I am loved. I'm a child of God. I'm perfect, lovable, loving, kind, generous, in all of life, energetic, a great sleeper, motivational, inspiring, girl of action, at peace and chilled, wise, great with money, playful, adventurous, sociable, passionate, powerful, unlimited, and very happy. That's my new belief system. So then, once you've looked at those, and when you're looking at your new belief systems, it's ways that you want to feel all the time. It's ways that you want to be. It's ways of being that would be wonderful for you, how you'd like to feel, what you'd really want to believe in. And don't hold back. Don't think, I don't feel like that now, so I'm not going to write that down. No, I want you to talk about a new way of being, a new way of believing. And then what you do is you take your old way of being and you just fold it up and get rid of it. You might want to, I keep mine because it's interesting to look at my old way, because sometimes you start to slip back and you go, that's my old way of being. I'm not going to do that anymore. But so I keep this one in a little box on my desk. This card, my new way of being, I keep in my purse, keep in my wallet purse I've got. So it's on me all the time. So I keep reminding myself all the time of my new way of being. And I'm having a complete detox from my old way of being. And I've been doing this quite some time. you do find yourself slipping back a bit, because these are habits, remember, these are habits. So you do find yourself slipping back into the old way of being, but try to focus on your new way of being and trying to see if you can get that into a habit and start to act and behave in this new belief system, your new way of being, your new belief system. Okay, so you might want to try that. It's quite a useful exercise. You're detoxing from your old belief system and you're adopting a new one. I'm not going to say you're going to wake up tomorrow and that's going to be your new belief system and that's the way you're going to act forever and ever. I'm not saying that at all, because it takes time, right, to detox from the old way in all sorts of ways. And we're going to look at detoxing at some point, because detoxing is a whole subject on its own. But this is just a really good exercise to start being mindful about the belief system that you're carrying around with you, and being mindful and aware of how you can start to behave in a different way and adopt a different form of beliefs that are more serving for us, that are more loving and are more positive and more gentle and are more empowering. So let's hope that's a useful exercise. Hope that helps you. Have a great Monday, and start your Monday as you start your, as I've said to you before, how you start your day is how you spend your day. How you start your week is how you spend your week. So if you can start to adopt these practices early on in the week, then you can start to work with them as the week goes on and be very mindful of them. So thanks for listening. Tune in next Monday for another Mindfulness Monday. You take care. Have a great week. Bye.